Our country is called Britain. All of us have different inputs towards the making of Britain. We all have our different roles to make Britain a successful country. I am Prime Minister, Pia's Human Geography, Will's Physical Geography, Adam's Economy, and Rachel's Culture and History. Next. Oh God. So can you press the button?
This one now.
Thank you. This is the map of our country. It borders Spain and France. Okay. Next slide. So
You need to do it because it's not working.
The button press is not working. So
I go do that.
This our flag design, and the colours are yellow for the gold mines, black for oil, blue for the sea, green for agriculture, and the word across it means power in Latin. Our country is called Bruceland because of an explorer called Bruce who founded the country of one of his expeditions. The capital city is Victorium, which stands for victory in Latin. The purpose of the capital city is that it's the main place for imports and exports. Everything that enters the country goes directly to Victorium and then gets sent around the country by plane and canal. Dominato, which means domination, is where most of the workers of the factories of the industrial state live. It's mostly working class city, along with Victorium, Parva and Persia. Parva, meaning small, used to be the main export for gold. It's situated on the edge of the gold mines. Potential is the upper class city, which most of the people live there are of the older generation. A lot of the people move there because it is cut off from the rest of the country, which means it isn't so busy. And Persia, meaning skill, is the city used for scientific research. The population is around 20 million. Roughly half of the population live in the capital city. This is to cover the amount of work needed. There are 7 farms altogether. Only around 100,000 of the people work on the farms. This is because there is a massive demand for work in the factories, and the cities pay more than the farms. Transportation and major roads. Around the capital city there is a ring road, and there are several major roads leading off of this into other cities and ports. There are canals that go around the whole country for imports and exports. The main form of transport for the people who live there are cars and trains because it's the quickest way to get around. The airports are on the edge of the city, and there is one main airport at the top of the city. On the edge of one town there is a big port for the canals.
The shape of Jerusalem is a rough rectangle. 1/3 of it is coast, and then the other third have neighbouring countries, Spain and France. Reason I made the seasons to nearby countries, so the economy is good in the country and we can export everything we grow in the country. The land is mostly flat, but a bit more hilly as you get into the agricultural land and as we get towards the mountains. The agricultural land is not too steep, so it can be farmed easily. The coastland is mostly cliffy, but there are some beaches, so you can have a lot of industry. Well, yeah, visitors there. The rivers flow through most of Jerusalem. The main rainforest, they go to the capital city and the other countries to the ports, so they can transport stuff without using roads. But there's a big lake that connects all the rivers. In the summer, it's not too dry. There is some rain, so the crops don't die. And the rivers don't dry up, so we can always keep boats moving and everything. Our hazards are mostly the rivers flooding and the beaches coming in too far, and also we have an inactive volcano. Because it's quite a hot country, when it goes to rainy season, we get a lot of thunder and lightning.
I was doing the economy. Brisbane is a first world country. Our economy is supported by tourism and exports for our ports. We have a major port up to the north east of our country. We neighbour France and Spain, so we import large amounts of goods into these two countries. Our capital city, Victoria, is a major city with a population around 11 million people, and it's the largest city in Brisbane. It is full of tourism attractions and high-tech development. The city provides many jobs and wealth for the country. The hills to the south are gold mines. They provide jobs that people don't want to live in normal city life. And power stations are placed around the main cities and near the major rivers to provide power to the cities, but without being in the major areas. Our industrial estate is near the capital city, so workers have a quick journey to work. Major factories are placed in the industrial estate, including car factories, food processing plants and toy factories. Apple's headquarters are situated in our country. They develop new products there, and our country is the leading country in cancer research. We are in cancer research treatments and drugs to prevent cancer.
Our country will allow all religions, as it will create different cultures within the country and bring differences to our communities. People from all religions will be around each other, therefore they should be able to respect each other's values. If there was one national religion and someone from another culture came, they would be able to understand them because they live in a country that has a freedom of religion. The places the religion will be located in the cities is because the majority of Brisbane live in and around the urban areas. Very few people live in the remote villages, but if they want to worship, they can make their way to the cities and the services provided for worship at home. We'll have a democracy because the main benefit of that is that every adult person, regardless of race, religious belief or gender, has the same rights as each other. Governments put laws into place to protect their citizens and to ensure a safe and fair society. People who lead a country have to obey the same laws as everyone else, and it leads to less internal violence, fewer wars and less mass murder by governments. We'll have a president because the president is often elected by people, and some argue that president with strong powers can usually enact changes quickly. And it provides stability because they have a fixed term, so they're more stability than a prime minister who can be dismissed at any time. People that want to migrate to our country, they must speak our language and pay their way. This is fair to the applicants, but also fair to the public. The government's priority is the security of the border. The right checks are carried out to control immigration, protect against terrorism and tackle crime. People with specialist skills will have a priority as they will bring many benefits to our country. Also, those that have skills in areas that our country lacks will have a high priority as well. Those that have committed crimes will be refused citizenship. Also, they might be refused jobs if they were allowed in, meaning that they would be unemployed and they would contribute to the unemployment rates which need to stay at a minimum. If you've committed a murder, etc., then you definitely wouldn't be allowed in. For those that have committed a small crime in the past but have changed and put right what they did wrong for something, then they'll be allowed in. People that want to come here and work and send money home will be allowed, as they will be so desperate to work that they wouldn't really mind what jobs they did, so they wouldn't be like fussy and that. The timeline, it goes from when our country was found by Bruce and the explorers to the present day, with battles happening and new presidents and stuff like that. And our national anthem is in Latin because that was the original language, but there is an English version. Long live our gracious land, power, victory and strength, residents of peace and respect. We accept all differences from great to small. We are a country united, we're a country with us all. Long live our gracious land, power, victory and strength,
residents of peace and respect. We are a country united for however long we live in Bristol and St Anne's.